Hello, thanks for joining me. So this is a floor-based flow for when you are low on energy or maybe recovering from injury or illness. So we're going to get started in child's pose. So bringing big toes together, knees apart, walking the hands forward and letting the forehead come to the floor, or maybe taking the hands underneath or making fists. So finding a comfortable position here. And just feeling into your body. So start to come to your breath, bring the focus into the sensations in your body. You feel the weight of the body pressing down. And let your head be heavy. So let the forehead center really press down into the mat. Just letting the weight of your head, the weight of your thoughts, go down into the ground. So just notice how you're feeling. And scanning through the body, becoming aware. And then bringing the focus to your breath, so slowing the breath down, slow deep breaths. On your next inhale, let's slowly start to rise up. We're going to walk the hands forward and lower down. So coming onto the front of the body, let's walk the hands so that the elbows are underneath the shoulders, so you're coming up onto the forearms, palms face down. So you just feel into that for a moment. And then we're going to bend the left knee. So flex the foot, take the knee out to the side, so you're making 90 degrees with the knee, with the hip. And then we're going to take the weight into the right forearm, the right elbow. So make sure it's directly under your shoulder. We're going to lift that left hand up, so reaching up. Really press down, lift out of the shoulder. Take a big deep breath here. And as we exhale, we're going to thread it through underneath this right arm. So bring the knee back in, thread it through, and we're going to hug the knees in. So coming into sideline position, hugged knees, and let's open up. So bring that right arm up and over, both hands are shoulder height, coming into a twist. And it might be that the back of the hand doesn't want to come to the floor, that's totally fine, keep it lifted, you might take it up over your head. Take a breath here, and then let's bring the hands back together. We're going to use this right hand to lift up, so straighten the right leg. We're going to take the left foot into the right thigh, and then take a side bend. So the right hand comes inside the knee, and take a side bend here. So reaching up and over. It might be that the fingertips touch the toes, but they don't need to. Big deep breath. And then let's take it back, take both hands to the floor, and we'll come back onto the front of the body. We'll take it over to the other side, so coming back onto the forearms. This time we're going to bend the right knee out to the side, so flex the foot. Take the knee out to the side, make sure this left elbow is under the shoulder. We're lifting up the right hand, so reach high. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then with the exhale, thread it underneath, bring that right knee in, roll onto your side, hug your knees. And then let's take the left arm up and over, bringing you into that twist. Relaxing here. Let's take the arm back to meet the right. We'll press that left hand into the floor, straighten the left leg, lift yourself up, and then come into your side bend. So that left hand comes down, you're reaching up and over. And you might keep a bend in this left knee. Let's take it all the way back over, hands come back to the floor. Let's come back onto the front of the body, and then we're going to press into the hands as we roll back to our child's pose. So finding your child's pose again. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to round through the spine. So rolling up. Let's come to tabletop. So wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips, fingers are spread. Let's take a cat-cow. Inhale, lift the head, lift the sit bones, belly pulls down. Exhale to drop the head, round through the upper back. And then coming back to centre, let's bring the knees together and start to draw circles with the right knee. So if you need to, grab a blanket underneath that left knee. Start to draw some circles. We'll go in one direction and then the other. So feeling into that right hip joint. And let's bring the knee back down. We're going to turn the right foot out to the side and come into a side plank variation. So straightening that left leg, reaching the left hand up to the sky. Deep breath here. And then let's start to move. So taking the foot forward, reaching for that foot. Slide it round to the back. So reaching away. Let's come back to the front. Slide it back. So keep the toe on the ground, opening up. And then on this third one, let's bring it round, bend the knee, and we'll come to sitting. So take the sit bones to the floor. That left foot is over the right thigh, and we'll take a side bend. So bring the left hand down, and let's flow from side to side. So keep breathing as you move. And then let's come forwards and backwards. So opening up as you inhale, exhaling to bring the hands towards each other. So let's come back to centre. We're going to straighten the right leg and take that left ankle bone to the right thigh. So flex the foot. You might sit here and think that's enough for me. You might put gentle pressure onto that left thigh. Or you might want to start walking the fingertips forward. So keep a bend in that right knee if you need to. Maybe put some padding under it. And then start to have a walk forward. And if it feels too much, come back up. So finding that place where you can sit with it, doesn't feel too deep a stretch, you just want something gentle so that you can just about feel it. It's not too strong. And then let's come back up. Let's bring both feet flat to the floor. We're going to lift into our reverse tabletop. So take the hands behind you, fingers facing forward. We're going to lift up, lift to the hips. And if this is really strong in the shoulders, keep the hips low. So you're just working with gently lifting. So lift the chin. You don't need to drop your head back, just gently lift the chin. Find some space in the throat. So pressing down into the hands. Let's lift the hips a tiny bit higher. Keep breathing here. And then let's lower back down. We're going to slide the heels forward and come into a forward fold. So bring the hands, maybe tiptoeing the hands along the floor. And again, just coming down as far as feels comfortable, so you don't have to force anything. You might keep a bend in the knees. You might take hold of the feet, the toes it might be. So just finding what feels good here. You can let your head relax down. Just take some slow, deep breaths. And then as you inhale, coming back up. And let's step the left foot back over the right thigh and we'll come into a twist. So taking left hand behind, reach the right hand to the sky, and with the exhale, come to your twist. So right elbow to left knee. So let the body sink into the ground, the sit bones sinking down. And with each exhale, maybe twist a tiny bit more. Let's come back to centre. We're going to turn the foot out to the side and I'm going to swivel around onto my mat, so you can do the same if you want to stay on your mat, but don't worry if you're not. And then bring this right forearm down. So again, we want that elbow underneath the shoulder. So from here, we're going to lift and lower that right foot. So lifting and lowering. You might want to take hold of the ankle, the left ankle. So keep breathing. And then option to stay here, lifting and lowering, or bring the foot back down and take hold of the left big toe. And we're going to start to straighten and lift that left leg. So it might be that it straightens, it might be that it doesn't want to. So feeling into that. You might bend that right knee just to give you some balance if you're rolling on the hip bone. So lifting up here, lift out of the shoulder, so really press down into the elbow, lift up. And then let's release it back down. Straighten that right leg again. I'm going to lift up and bring the hand to the floor. So fingertips face away. I'm going to straighten the arm and drop into the shoulder. So let the right ear come to the right shoulder. And we're going to drop the ribs. So dropping into the side body, opening up. So really breathing into this right side. Feeling into the left side of the neck. And you might want to take your hand to your ribs, maybe to your waist. Just allowing that area just to drop down, to open up. Come back to your breath. You might want to close your eyes. And then let's lift the head. Let's roll onto the side, come back to your tabletop. So have a move, have a wiggle. Feeling into your spine, pressing down into your hands. And then let's bring knees back together and we'll do the same the other side. So drawing those circles with the knee. So feeling into that left hip joint this time. Circles with the knee. Let's go in the opposite direction. Let's bring the knee back to the floor. We'll turn the foot out to the side and straighten through the right leg. So fingertips face away, we're lifting up. So if you need to, take a blanket underneath that left knee. Going to reach high. And then bring the foot forward. So sliding the toes to the front, reaching for the foot and then lifting as you slide the foot behind. Opening up. Bring it forward, drawing that circle on the floor. Opening up, slide it back. And then this time when you bring it forward, we're going to take the foot over that right thigh and come to sitting. Let's come into our side bend. So take the right hand down, reaching up and over. So come from side to side. So finding that space, both sides of the body. Let's come to centre and take it forwards and back. Opening up as you inhale, exhaling to come forward. Let's come back up. We'll straighten the left leg and then take the right ankle bone to the thigh. So it might feel different this side. You might want a different variation. It might be enough to be sat here. You might press lightly on that right thigh, or the option to walk the fingertips forward. If you need to, take some padding or fold your mat in, bring it underneath that ankle bone. And take a couple of breaths. So feel into it. Be gentle with yourself. Staying with your breath. So releasing, coming up whenever you need to, or option to walk the fingertips further forward. So let's come up on the inhale. We'll take the feet to the floor and lift into our reverse tabletop. So hands come behind, fingertips facing forward, lifting up. So press down into the feet, lifting the hips as high as feels comfortable. So if the shoulders really start to go crazy, keep the hips low. And you're just working with lifting up and down. So lift the chin, let the throat have some space. Stay with the breath. And then lowering back down. Going to slide the heels forward and come into your forward fold. So that might be with knees bent. You might take hold of the feet. You can let the head drop down, let the head be heavy. And take a few breaths here. So find that place where you can sit with the sensation. You can always release out a bit, and always the option to take it deeper. So don't force anything, just be really gentle with yourself. And then let's slowly come up. We're going to take that right foot over the left thigh, take the right hand behind, lift the left hand to the sky and take it into your twist. So exhale to bring the left elbow to the right knee. So sitting tall, inhale, exhale, gently twist. And then let's come back to centre. We're going to turn the foot out to the side. You can bring the forearm down from here, or just turn the hips so you stay on your mat. So the foot comes forward, you're rolling onto that outer edge of the hip and the elbow is underneath the shoulder. We're just going to start to lift that left foot. So you might take hold of the ankle, see how it feels. And it might be that the foot lifts a centimetre off the floor. So just notice that, be aware of that. It might feel really different on this side compared to the other side. It feels much more annoying on this side for me. So just notice that, be aware of it, be okay with it. And then option to stay here with this movement. You might be thinking, no way, I'm going to try the other one. We'll take hold of the right toe. I'm going to start to lift and lengthen this right leg. So press into the elbow, the forearm, and the left side, lift out of the shoulder. Keep breathing. And then let's lower back down. Take the foot back to the floor, and we're going to lift up, take the hand to the floor, the fingers face away. So straighten the arm, let the shoulder come up towards the ear and let the head drop over onto that shoulder. So you might feel a stretch in that right side of the neck, so just let your head be heavy. And then allow your ribs, this side body, this left side to open up, so your rib cage drops down, that opening at the waist. So really breathing into that, allow that to happen. And it can take a few breaths to release and relax. You can always bend in this left leg to help you balance. And next inhale, let's lift the head. Let's come back, rolling round, back to our tabletop. Let's take a cat-cow. So lifting head and sit bones on the inhale, rounding through the spine as you exhale. And then let's come back to child's pose. So big toes together, knees apart, coming all the way down. Finding your version of child's pose. And feel free to stay in this pose if it feels comfortable, or come to your shavasana. Take as much time as you need, and then when you're ready to, coming up to a comfortable seat. Thanks again for joining me. Namaste.